I wanted to thank you for coming out tonight as we talk about hormone balancing. We're going to be discussing a lot of different things tonight. So again, welcome. I'm very happy to have you joining me today. If we have not met, my name is Tiffany Roberts, and I really do love helping people find natural alternatives to improve health. My husband and I own a functional medicine clinic in Prairie Village, Kansas, and we are continually working on educating ourselves so that we can educate the community on how to have better health. If you have any questions during our time together, please feel free to post them in the chat, and I will do my best to respond to them quickly. So let's get started discussing a few important hormones and their functions. So you're walking fluffy through the park and you see an alligator swimming towards the shore. Uh-oh. Let's take a look at the body's response to stress. When your brain senses danger, the section responsible for emotional processing, the amygdala, signals the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus activates the sympathetic nervous system and in turn, the fight or flight response. This process leads to a chemical cascade releasing the stress hormone cortisol and neurotransmitters norepinephrine and epinephrine. There are two parts to the stress response, turning it on and turning it off. When danger is no longer perceived, the parasympathetic nervous system initiates the relaxation response and brings the hormonal balance back to normal. Although there are other hormones at play, cortisol is a primary stress hormone. It is vital for our survival and is made from cholesterol in the adrenal glands. The benefits of cortisol include increase in your blood sugar from glycogen stored in your liver to fuel your brain and your muscles. It releases protein, fat, and carbohydrate metabolism. It regulates your fluid and electrolytes balance to help you maintain a normal blood pressure. It helps regulate the effects on the response to stress of your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, and the other areas of your brain. And it also helps regulate adrenaline production. But prolonged stress or high levels of cortisol lead to many negative health effects. And some of those include high blood pressure, high blood sugar, increased risk for diabetes, increase in abdominal or visceral fat, increased risk for heart disease from diabetes from the increased abdominal fat. It can cause hypothyroidism from decreased thyroid production. You have slower wound healing, susceptible to infections, and hormone imbalance. So neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that translate various functions within the body, such as your heart rate. Many neurotransmitters are synthesized from amino acids, which are readily available from our diet. When not balanced properly, however, negative health conditions can occur. A number of neurotransmitters can also act in the body as hormones. However, they are quite different. Neurotransmitters belong in the nervous system and are produced by neurons and send signals through the synaptic connections, whereas hormones belong in the endocrine system and are produced by the endocrine glands and deliver signals through the blood. Despite their differences, it's important to note that the levels and balance of hormones are influenced by neurotransmitters. For this discussion, we're going to focus on following the neurotransmitters epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. So epinephrine and norepinephrine are two neurotransmitters that also serve as hormones. Their hormone function stimulates the central nervous system. Epinephrine communicates with receptors in the heart, lungs, and arteries, while norepinephrine can only communicate with arterial receptors. So epinephrine is also known as adrenaline, and norepinephrine both influence the body by increasing your blood sugar levels, increasing your heart rate, increasing contractility, which it depends on how hard your heart squeezes. Additionally, the epinephrine allows relaxation of smooth muscles in the airways to improve breathing. While norepinephrine can cause the blood vessels to narrow, which increases blood pressure. So chronic stress can result in levels being either deficient or too high of either of these neurotransmitters, both of which are negative for our overall health, okay? Deficiency can contribute to anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia, hypoglycemia. You get migraine headaches, restless leg syndrome, and sleep disorders. Excess levels, being too much, can contribute to high blood pressure, anxiety, excessive sweating, heart palpitations, and headaches. So dopamine and serotonin are powerful neurotransmitters that influence both mood regulation and your concentration. Whether levels are low or high, the effects can be detrimental to one's health. Dopamine is responsible for pleasure and satisfaction. Lack of dopamine is associated with lack of motivation, low energy, and poor digestion. When triggered by a stress response, however, dopamine can help you. It perceives and processes the threat. It can figure out the appropriate response. It helps you avoid an unpleasant situation. Learn and remember to avoid the particular stress event. Redirect the blood flow by dilating blood vessels in certain tissues by inhibiting noradrenaline release in those tissues. So unlike the dopamine, serotonin does not have the stimulatory effects in the brain. Instead, it's responsible for calming and evoking positive moods. Serotonin helps regulate appetite, sleep cycle, and suppresses pain. It makes sense that deficiency is closely linked to depression. So the body responds to stress dependent on the type and amount presented by releasing the appropriate amount of stress-fighting chemicals. Stress can be psychological, physical, or physiological. The origin may be internal or external. It is manifested, and it's manifested can either be mild, severe, or anything in between. Stress hormones are productive during stress as they act to maintain vital systems, to increase blood, oxygen, and sugar to best prepare and cope with impending stress. However, adverse reactions can occur when stress triggers a high level of response. This is seen most during times of chronic stress when the hormones don't have time to properly rebalance, leading to disease. The degree of hormonal response and amount of stress hormone release depends on, any of the following: the type, degree, or duration of the stress, how you perceive that stress, your life experiences with stress, your age and gender, how frequently stress occurs, previous experiences with the stress, and the context or environment in which the stress is related. So the primary sex hormones include estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Cortisol blocks the secretion of the body's main fertility hormone, GnRH, growth hormone, which is responsible for releasing sex hormones. While this is okay during periods of acute stress, chronic stress can result in lasting effects. Both women and men may experience low libido and decreased fertility. It is clear that it can be an issue if it is persistent. Sex hormones control most of the influential processes in the body, including pregnancy, puberty, regulatory monthly cycles, menopause, hair growth, skin complexion, muscle density, and fat storage. These hormones can complement each other or functions as opposites, which is why it is so important that we present with the right ratio. During chronic stress, your body may think it needs more cortisol. In order to make more, the body steals from the sex hormone system using progesterone to create cortisol. This can quickly become a difficult cycle. Estrogen is needed in higher amounts for women. Its primary function is growth and development, but affects nearly all the body systems. So estrogen deficiency can cause foggy mind, hot flashes, depression, memory lapses, headaches, vaginal dryness, irregular periods, urine leakage, sleep problems, and even bone loss. Too much estrogen can cause heavy bleeding, breast tenderness, increased premenstrual symptoms, fibrocystic breast disease, ovarian cyst, abdominal weight, anxiety, irritability, water retention, and even increased triglyceride levels. So in short, estrogen is one of the most important hormones for women in terms of health. Any imbalance, whether it is deficiency or excess, can cause a host of issues. Testosterone is the predominant hormone in men, responsible for healthy muscle mass, stamina, energy, bone density, memory, and strength. Too much testosterone can cause aggression, depression, impotence, and excessive libido. Even too little testosterone can cause depression. Deficiency, however, affects more than just the sexual function. Both men and women are faced with complications without adequate supply of hormones. Women need testosterone as well. Testosterone deficiency is associated with decreased sex drive, increased depression and anxiety, fatigue, inability to concentrate, decline in memory and cognitive skills, decreased muscle mass and strength, loss of body hair, decreased bone mass that may lead to osteoporosis, increased abdominal or pectoral fat, sleep issues, and in women, if you have too low testosterone, this can be an issue later on down the road that causes cardiovascular disease. So women, it is important as well. So hormonal imbalances can be a result of many different factors. Some of the most well-studied include undereating. Many fad diets don't take into account hormone balance. Also, in general, frequent weight loss and weight regain is a huge factor in hormonal imbalances. Eating the wrong food for your body. Many foods negatively impact hormone imbalance when eaten in wrong proportions. Stress. How many times do we talk about stress? I've already demonstrated how much stress can impact the hormone activity. So in short, chronic stress is responsible for transforming hormones and creating significant imbalances. If you are chronically stressed, your body is not going to be able to heal. So we have to figure out a way to get that chronic stress under control. And there are ways to do this, and we have great techniques to do that in the office. Toxic overload. How many times do we talk to you guys about toxins? Toxins enter the body through your diets, environmental pollutions, and many of the household products that we use daily. Too many toxins overburden the liver, which detracts from breaking down excessive hormones. This, of course, leads to higher levels of hormones and a disruption of hormonal imbalance. Some toxins that we can talk about here are your cleaning supplies, your soap, your shampoo, your face soap, your makeup, your lotions. Everything that you put on your body is absorbed into your body, okay? Your skin is an organ. So anything that you touch or clean with or use as cosmetics or whatever, that is getting absorbed into your body. And most of the cleaning supplies and the makeup and the cosmetics out there are endocrine disruptors. And this is why we have a lot of hormonal issues, is simply because of the toxins that we're around. High body fat percentage. Too much body fat results in low testosterone, high estrogen ratio due to an increased enzyme in fat tissue, which converts testosterone into estrogen. This is negative for both men and women, regardless of your age. And aging. Progesterone decreases faster than estrogen as women age, leading to estrogen dominance. As men age, testosterone levels decline. However, estrogen declines at a slower pace, leading to an imbalance of testosterone and estrogen. So there's two types of problems tend to occur when hormones are out of balance. Uncomfortable symptoms that change how you think, feel, and act. You might not feel great about yourself. And number two, an increased risk of illness, such as depression, Alzheimer's, heart disease, osteoporosis, diabetes, and certain cancers. Both outcomes can negatively affect quality of life to a varying degree. So, common hormone imbalance signs can include infertility, irregular periods, unexplained weight gain or weight loss, depression and anxiety, fatigue, insomnia, low libido, changes in your appetite, your digestive issues, hair loss or thinning, and so much more. Even your hair can change texture. So a lot of different things, symptoms can be signs of hormonal imbalances. So our diets are filled with foods known to impact hormone balance. Common mistakes negatively impacting hormone balance include too low of fatty acids, a low-fat diet, too little fiber, too many carbohydrates, too much soy. Soy can convert into estrogen. Too much alcohol, too many unhealthy fats, too much sugar. Sugar is number one. And too many processed foods. As a way to combat these common diet mishaps, include more of the following foods into your diet, such as flax seeds. A compound found in flax can bind to our estrogen receptors and help excrete excess estrogen out of our bodies. Cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, kale, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts contain important nutrients to prevent estrogen-related cancers and help eliminate excessive estrogen due to their high fiber content. If you don't like cruciferous vegetables, we have a supplement for that. Lentils. Lentils provide a great source of protein and fiber resulting in reduced estrogen levels in addition to containing zinc. Everybody is zinc deficient nowadays, so that would be a good one. And this actually raises testosterone. Sweet potatoes. These tubers are high in B6, which helps the liver detoxification and frees up the liver from breaking down excessive hormones. These are only a fraction of the yummy foods that work in favor of your hormone balance. So up next, I'll be explaining more about the constituents of hormone balancing diet. So the foods that we eat on a regular basis can either work for us or against us, as we've just discussed. First, a word on gut health. Okay, overall health, as well as many diseases, has been linked to digestive health. Research has proven that gut or digestive health equals hormonal balance and vice versa. The gut is teeming with bacteria, both beneficial and problematic. The key is to make sure that the good outnumber the bad. This is best done through your diet. Chinese, Indian, and Japanese medical traditions have known this for many years. Now we'll discuss how the following can improve hormone imbalance: healthy fats, probiotics, digestive enzymes, supplements, and adaptogenic herbs. So your body needs various forms of fat to create hormones. This includes short, medium, and long-chain fatty acids, saturated fat, and cholesterol. Fats are essential building blocks for hormone production. They also keep inflammation levels low, and they boost your metabolism, and they promote weight loss. So aiming for 15 to 30 grams of healthy fats daily in a stabilization and production of stress hormones, cortisol, and adrenaline. In particular, omega-3 fatty acids are important for cell-to-cell communication in the brain. Typical diets are not properly balanced with omega-3 to 6 oils. We need more omega-3s, however, generally get higher omega-6s. The omega-6 containing foods that are best to avoid to achieve this balance include safflower, sunflower, corn, cottonseed, canola, soybean, and peanut oil. So stay away from those. A healthy omega-6 containing food, however, is like hemp seeds, which are rich in gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA, to support healthy progesterone levels. So good sources of anti-inflammatory, healthy omega-rich fats include coconut oil, avocados, flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, grass-fed butter, and wild-caught salmon. The benefits of avocado in particular, it includes improving your heart health, lowering inflammation, controlling your appetite, and contributing to your daily intake of fiber and nutrients. Sometimes at our office, when we have a really busy day and we don't get lunch, we bring avocados and we cut them up, put a little salt and pepper on it, and that's our lunch in between patients. And that satisfies us until we can get home to have our dinner. So probiotics are known as a beneficial bacteria found in the gut. The right balance of probiotics can improve your production and regulation of key hormones. Foods that contain these healthy probiotics are kefir, bone broth, sourdough bread, low sugar kombuchas, kimchi, sauerkraut, natto, miso, and apple cider vinegar. So aim for at least 2 servings per day of any of these yummy, healthy probiotic foods. Additionally, High fiber foods such as chia seeds and flax seeds naturally feed probiotics in your system. Some common culprits linked to destruction of healthy gut bacteria include overuse of prescription antibiotics, excessive sugar, emotional stress, medication, alcohol, lack of exercise, over sanitation, smoking, and poor sleep habits. So the body naturally produces enzymes to break your food down. However, most of us, some people have trouble digesting fat and can benefit from a digestive enzyme with lipase to help metabolize these fats better, especially if you don't have your gallbladder. If you do not have your gallbladder, you're not digesting fat, and that's very important because if you're not digesting your fat, you're not able to absorb fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A, E, K, D, and F, okay? So we need to look into that. There are supplements that you can take to help digest these enzymes, or the fat. So other enzymes can also help your gut break down your food into smaller particles, making it easier to process and absorb nutrients. So look for supplements that contain amylase to break down starch, lipase to aid in fat breakdown, and protease to aid in the breakdown of protein. Getting all the nutrients we need through our diet alone can sometimes be challenging. Fortunately, supplementation can help, specifically with magnesium and D vitamins. Magnesium is a micromineral needed for numerous functions in the body, and most of us are deficient in this. For example, magnesium helps to calm the nervous system and prevent production of excessive cortisol. Magnesium deficiency is on the rise due to a drastic decline of food sources over the years. Report estimates magnesium content in vegetables has seen declines up to 80% since pre-1950 figures, and the typical grain refining processes for bread and pasta remove 80 to 95% of total magnesium. If you guys were at Dr. Roberts' last presentation a couple weeks ago, he talked about how corn is now completely deficient in any kind of nutrients, especially the GMO ones. Vitamin D deficiency is also on the rise. And if I could do a dissertation on that for my PhD, I think I'm going to, because vitamin D is so important nowadays. Vitamin D acts as a hormone inside the body and helps to keep inflammation levels low. It also works to regulate estrogen levels in the body. Vitamin D is termed the sunshine vitamin because the body creates vitamin D when exposed to sunlight. However, with everyone covering up and slathering on sunblock, we may not be getting enough direct sun exposure, which is why supplementation is recommended. And again, if you're not able to break down your fat, you're not going to break down the supplementation of a vitamin D. So that has to be regulated. Lastly, B vitamins play many vital roles in the body because there are so many different B vitamins. There's 8 in total. It is recommended taking a B complex to ensure proper intake of each one of these because our foods are so deficient in this. B vitamins are responsible for liver detoxification, mood elevating effects, nerve function, and maintaining estrogen balance. However, if your gut is not working properly, you're not going to be able to absorb these B vitamins because most of your B vitamins are absorbed in your gut. So if you have gut issues, you should seek some help from a functional medicine practitioner to help you clean out that and get rid of the infection so that you can properly absorb B vitamins. When it is possible for you to be getting all of the required nutrients through your diet, that's rather difficult. Ultimately, supplementation may be your best bet. So adaptogens are a unique class of healing plants that help to restore imbalances and normalize physiological functions in the body. A number of these herbs have been investigated for adaptogenic properties that promote hormone balance and protect the body from a wide variety of diseases, including chronic stress-related illnesses. For example, ashwagandha, medical mushrooms that we keep talking about in our group, that is an adaptogen. Rhodiola and holy basil have been studied and proven to offer the following benefits: improves thyroid function, lowers cholesterol naturally, reduces anxiety and depression, reduces brain cell degeneration, stabilizes blood sugar and insulin levels, and supports adrenal gland function. Ashwagandha in particular can be extremely effective in balancing hormones and can also help overcome adrenal fatigue. Its effects on cortisol, stress tolerance, and internal stress responses have been studied for decades. Holy basil also helps to regulate cortisol levels, making it a viable natural remedy for anxiety and emotional stress. Additionally, studies reveal hormone imbalance related to chemical stress from pollutants and heavy metals can be restored with holy basil. So ashwagandha is traditionally used as a powder and made into a tea. If you're interested, we do have a recipe, and I can actually write that down when I post it on our Back to Nature Facebook page, and I'll put the recipe included in the comments for this great tea, because it's just a half a teaspoon of ashwagandha powder, a cup of hot water, and some honey. You can also make a tonic, which is a little stronger. It's 1 to 2 teaspoons of ashwagandha powder, 2 cups of, I would say, raw milk. If you can't get access to that, then I would do almond milk. 1 tablespoon of raw sugar or manuka honey, and 1/8 teaspoon of cardamom. Ashwagandha can also be taken in a tablet form or a liquid extract. For all of my patients, you can go to your standard process login and look for the ashwagandha. They have both the tablets and the liquid extract for that as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about my favorite topic here. Essential oils offer a natural way to combat chemical-ridden conventional body care products. Harmful chemicals, including DEA, parabens, propylyl glycol, and sodium lauryl sulfate, can disrupt hormone function and encourage imbalances. So here's a little list of some of the best essential oils for hormone balancing. Clary sage. It helps to balance estrogen levels. You can diffuse 3 to 5 drops of clary sage to help hormone levels and relieve stress, or you can apply it topically. Fennel, essential oil, can help relax your body, improve your digestion and gut health, boost your metabolism, and reduce inflammation. You could add 1 to 2 drops to a glass of warm water or tea and take it internally. Lavender oil promotes emotional balance, as it can help to treat anxiety, depression, and stress. You can add this to a warm bath or a diffuser to help reap those benefits. Sandalwood triggers peaceful feelings and results in an overall reduction of stress. Try adding a few drops to a diffuser or dabbing some in a cupped hand and inhale it. Thyme. This essential oil improves progesterone production and helps to balance hormones naturally. Try adding 2 drops of thyme oil to warm bath water, or rub 2 to 3 drops of equal parts of that in coconut oil on your abdomen. Only the purest and highest quality oils will work correctly in this, okay? That's very, very important. You cannot go to a store and get these oils and expect them to work. Many store-bought and other brands are filled with extenders, fillers, and toxic extenders. I absolutely only trust Young Living, and this is what I recommend to my patients. I've tested many, many, many different brands, and none have met the quality standards that Young Living has. So if you don't have an account with them, I'd be happy to show you how. Just contact me at the end of the presentation. So for a short time, since you are on this call, if you want to go into a further discussion about your hormones and meet with Dr. Roberts personally, you can book your discovery session free of charge now until August 3rd. This is a $120 value, but if you schedule it before August 3rd, it is free of charge, and you can go to our website at functionalmedicinekc.com and click book an appointment and schedule your discovery session. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you learned a lot of useful information on the importance of hormone balance and useful tips to help you. So sharing this topic with people who are eager to transform their health always excites me. If you have any further questions, please post them in the chat, or you can email me at backtonatureLM@gmail.com, or visit our website at functionalmedicinekc.com, where you can click the contact form. I am always here to support you and hope to see you next week. So if there's any questions, please let me know in the chat box.